Phil from the Back Roads Riding Channel coming at you with today's edition of the Daily Slab. Well, it has been quite a few months since I have made one of my videos, and main reason for that is I moved to Florida and am now residing in Davenport. So, you know, it took several months for all that to kind of come together and everything to work out the way it was supposed to, but we are now officially moved, and so far enjoying the Florida weather. Today is October 27th. It is about 91 degrees, something along those lines. At all, actually. We've been down here for almost 2 months, and I think I've only had the bike out maybe 4 or 5 times. It's been so busy with the move and getting job kind of lined out and figuring out where everything's at. I've not been able to ride near like I used or have been in the past. So, but hopefully now that I'm starting to get settled in, that's going to modify and change up a little bit. As we come into the end of October, the weather's been pretty steady, although, you know, differences with Florida is, you know, typically you start off the day, it's nice and sunshiny, and then by the afternoon it looks like it does now, a little cloudy, and you get on and off rain showers 20 minutes at a time. So you either kind of just plan on getting wet, and or you do a lot of your riding in the morning or the evening. So, but for me with work, I typically am riding in the evenings anyways. But today being a Sunday, I'm able to get out in the afternoon. The bike is doing great down here. I mean, a little riding that I've done. Of course, the big difference that you have here is I have roads that are actually nice. I don't have to worry about the potholes like I did back in Michigan, and I don't miss that at all. Boy, I'll tell you what, it is amazing the difference in the roads, how they look and how they handle. Everything down here is just different. Now, for me, I'll be the first to admit I'm not a real nuts about the flatness of Florida. It is a little flat for me, but I gotta tell you, to get away from the Michigan winters and the constant stripped down roads and just the dreary weather, so far I'm enjoying it. Now, granted, we did move in the fall, so don't have quite as much in the way of the heat, although we've had some pretty warm days down here. So, but I'm sure that as we get into next summer, I'll start wondering what sort of hell I got myself into. Let's talk about the bike a little bit. Right now, actually, I don't even know what I'm sitting at. I am sitting at 21,644 miles. So I guess I could do a real quick 21,000 mile or 22,000 mile review. Bike is still doing excellent. The last service that I had done on it, I think really was one of the better services that I've had, and so far the bike seems to be doing great. The new tires are excellent. I really like these Michelin Commander 2s. Great tires, and for the roads down here, especially with the constant in and out of the rain that there is here, I don't mind it at all. So they handle the roads well, they handle the wet well. I mean, you know, anytime you're in the rain, the bike feels a little different, obviously. But what I didn't like about the other tires is, I mean, it really felt like there was no feeling at all. When the roads got wet, I couldn't feel the road, and I mean the tires gripped, but you just couldn't. It's hard to explain, but these tires, I can at least still feel the road when it's cutting through the water, which is nice. So I at least get a little bit of feedback. So I've been happy with them. So if you're thinking about getting the Michelin Commander 2s, at least from my perspective, got about, let's see how many miles do I have on them. I think I've got about 3,000 miles on them right now. I'm happy with them. Very happy with them. Seem to be wearing very well. So I'm good with that. Was able to get my license transferred with no problem, so didn't have to take any classes or anything like that. I wasn't sure how that would work since I've had a license. I've never lived out of the state of Michigan, but I have my Florida license, and just told them that I had my cycle endorsement in Michigan, and they just labeled my license as having a cycle endorsement here. So if you have any questions on that and you've thought about moving to Florida, you'll be able to transfer your cycle endorsement without any problem, or motorcycle. Did I really just say cycle endorsement? Your motorcycle endorsement over. Ooh, this is the first day that I have worn a full face helmet down in Florida. It's toasty, to say the least. That's why I have my windshield off, because I knew that the temperatures the way they are today, I gotta have a little bit of airflow over the helmet. So if the wind's a little loud, I apologize for that. But yeah, it's first day full face, and it's a little toasty. I should be wearing full gear. I'm not, but I'm wearing boots and jeans, but did not have my jacket on today. And I see other guys out riding with their gear on, so I really should be too. I will say that riding a motorcycle in Florida, you really got to pay attention. I won't argue that at all. There is a difference in riding here and riding in Michigan. People here are just somewhat oblivious to everything around them all the time. You get on roads like I-4, which I really try to avoid on my motorcycle, but when I am on it, or when I'm riding on it or driving on it in my car, you know, speed limits are just kind of there for you to look at, maybe get a baseline. Folks are a little different driving, so you really got to pay attention in Florida. So if you decide to take a road trip to Florida, just keep your eyes up, eyes open all the time, and it should be okay. But you have a pretty wide mix of drivers here. So you have the older folks, which, you know, the older community, and not meaning anything against them, but sometimes they don't necessarily keep up with traffic, or they don't always allow the distance they need for their reaction time, and so it can get a little dangerous, and they don't always see you when you're next to them. But I think the thing I have more trouble with here is you get a lot of tourists, and they get a lot of tourists from other countries, and which is fine. I have no problem with that, but you know, their driving behavior can be very very sporadic. I mean, I've had people, I don't understand some of this, but getting on the highway and coming down an exit ramp, and there's traffic backed up the exit ramp. They just go down the embankment to the highway. I've never in my life seen someone do that on purpose. I mean, since I've been here, I've seen that happen at least 3 times. And I don't mean just going 5 feet across some grass. I mean, like down the embankment. Just because they're in a truck, they just figure, well, I'll just go down the side of the highway here. And it's just amazing to me. So yeah, you do get a little bit of crazy on the road sometimes. But I will say this, there are some people say you can't find good riding roads in Florida. Well, at least in the Davenport area, I've been able to find some pretty decent ones. Some decent curves, and no, definitely not a lot of pretty. It's different. It's very marshy. A lot of orchards or groves here. But I don't mind it. I think it's kind of nice. Big bugs though. Wow. Which reminds me, I probably should have at least put my vest on without my windshield. Because man, them bugs hurt, man. Boy. I didn't even think about that. This is the first day I've been out with, or been on the road without my windshield down here. I will say this, if you're going to ride in Florida, at least for me, if my windshield's off, my full face helmet's going on. If I get hit with a bug in the body, you know, I can deal with that, but I don't want to get hit in the eyeball with one. Ooh. Like I said, some of them are huge. So I'm really hoping to try to get the channel going again now that I'm settled in down here. I am still working my same job. I'm just working remotely, which is very cool that my company was able to work with me on that. So I hope that I'll be able to get some good rides in for you guys and try to get at least on a semi-normal schedule again, getting videos uploaded. I appreciate all the folks that have subscribed. Subscriber base is gradually going up, so try to make some new content, keep it going, and so keep looking for new videos. Subscribe down there, click on the alert to be notified when new videos come out. Definitely look forward to having all you on board with me. I am filming today. I think this is actually my first filming with my Hero 7. I traded in my I can't even think of the name of it now. I traded in my E4K. They were running a special where they give you $100 for any camera if you trade it in. So I traded in my E4K and bought a Hero 7. I ended up getting 2 of them. Like I said, I believe this is my first time filming on the bike with it. I've used them a few times at sporting events for some of the schools that I work with. We did some sporting events with them, did some stuff with baseball teams out there filming the pitchers and catchers and getting some really good action shots. And I gotta say, these Hero 7s are pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. I know the Hero 8 just came out, so I'll have to look at that a little bit, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with this Hero 7. So we are coming into the actual downtown area of the city of Davenport here, which is definitely not much to look at. The surrounding Davenport area is pretty nice, and areas like Champions Gate and Providence up through here are really, really nice. But you know, it's a very rural town still, and so still lots of orchards and farms out here, cattle farms especially. The other thing that I've noticed about Florida, which is somewhat interesting, it seems like here, I mean, people really, more so than in Michigan. In Michigan, during the summer, I mean, guys were out every single day on their bikes, and I think it's because the riding season is so short. You got to ride as much as you can when you can. But down here, I think it's because the riding season is so long, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like during the weekday, you really don't see a lot of bikes down here. You see a few guys commuting to work, things like that, but a lot of the cruisers and stuff, at least in this area, I don't see that many out. Now on the weekends, they're all over the place. But it's an interesting dynamic, the difference between here and up in Michigan. So as you can see here, this is like a lot of the area around Davenport. A lot of these groves, I think they're orange groves. I would assume so. I don't know enough about the area to know, or enough about what I'm looking at. Well, that will just about wrap it up for this edition of the Daily Slab. We'd like for any of you new folks watching to subscribe down there below. Select the alert button to let you know when new videos are posted. I don't want to promise anything right now just because I'm still figuring out my schedule down here, but I hope to get at least a video out a week. So, but I'm glad you all were with us today, and for those of you who are riders, ride safe. And this is Phil at the Back Roads Riding Channel saying peace. We'll see you all in the next video.